bars in a rave. Man, I go hard like Santan.
And welcome to another edition of MUGA. I'm your host Gaz, covering for Mariah this evening, but I'm joined by two esteemed guests. Firstly, I'll introduce a familiar face. Reemz, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. How's everyone else doing?
I'm all right, bro. Do you know what it is with United at this point? It doesn't bother me no more, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? We've been living this life for a while, so I'm all right, man. I'm all right. And we've got a new guest on the pod today joining us. TG, how are you, brother? Tell me how you're feeling.
I'm good, bros, man. Hope you are good. Thanks for having me still.
United's not got you down.
Bro, we can only get down so much, you know, after everything this team has put us through, bro. Can't come and kill myself, you know what I mean?
To be fair, before we actually get into the game on Saturday that United had, just generally speaking, what are your thoughts on sort of United so far this season? How do you feel about sort of Amorim coming in? How do you feel about him, you know, so far? Just give us a quick glimpse.
I feel like I want to give him a blag because obviously he's come mid-season. It's not looking promising. Our squad's proper dead. I just feel like he can improve in certain areas, and obviously we'll go on to talk about where I feel like he can improve. But so far, I just feel like I'm just gonna wait till summer. I have my reservations, but I'm just gonna wait till summer till I give him a full assessment on him and how he's done so far. So yeah,
I appreciate that, bro. So we're gonna start off with the Everton game, 2-2 draw at Goodison Park. The last time United will ever play at Goodison Park as well, and good riddance. It's one of those stadiums that United have mixed luck at. Do you know what I'm saying? I think there's been years where when we were really good, to be fair, even when we were really good, I think we had some sticky games there. But Goodison's one of those sort of old school stadiums that's got a lot of history. And the last time we played there ended up in a 2-2 draw. In a game that I'm even surprised United managed to scrape a draw from. Before going into the game, Reemz,
yeah,
I feel like we kind of repeat ourselves every time we speak about how did we feel before the game. But yeah, give me your thoughts. How are you feeling going into the game? I don't know if you listened, but in the Patreon episode, Dissy was saying, or maybe it was the last time we recorded, Dissy was saying Decore bang on to score. But yeah, what were your thoughts?
I wasn't Decore that I thought I was gonna score. It was Beto that I thought was gonna score, and he fucking scored. But yeah, obviously I wasn't too confident. I'm not really too confident about any game for the remainder of the season. So yeah, and Everton banging form. They got Moyes in, new manager bounce, all that good stuff. So yeah, going into that game, that at Goodison last game at Goodison for United, it seemed like just like another L to me. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I see it as well. I think it had everything written for United L, especially Moyes going back to Everton, his last sort of game at Goodison against United, former club. It felt like it was written in the stars. TG, any thoughts from yourself prior to going into the game? Were you sort of anxious going into it, or did you have a bit of confidence?
Honestly speaking, yeah, I knew Decore had something nasty for us. Just the way our midfield is set up, the way we're set up, I knew Decore had something nasty for us still, and goal and assist come true still.
Yeah, it was interesting as well because before we actually go into how the game panned out, Decore's been in a good vein of form, and so have Everton. He's completely transformed them. And Decore was speaking about how Moyes has given him a bit more license to play, which is completely different to the sort of Moyes you think and you thought you knew. You tend to think of Moyes as a bit of a pragmatist.
But Moyes is always had a maverick or two in all of his teams. I mean, he's always given a couple players that creative license, Pina, Arteta, whoever it may be.
Facts.
Yeah,
facts. We'll go into the United starting lineup, which I was kind of interested by. Let me find it quickly. BBC, where are you? Bear with me, fellas. United lineup. And here we are. United started with Onana in goal. How you guys, TG, talk to me actually before I get into the actual lineup.
Bro, this keeper, yeah, I just don't understand that. Obviously, we had to move on from De Gea and that. What? This Onana guy, like every week, he shocks me every week. I can't lie. Every week, I'm just like, what is Onana gonna cook up for us this week, like? And I'm just, at this point, I just run out of things to say about him, man. I don't want to say anything too mad.
Is that where you're standing with him, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Is he one of those ones where you're happy to sort of he's someone that's passable until there's enough resources, I guess, to invest in the future, or is it something that he's addressing now?
No, we can manage with him in terms of like there's other pressing issues I feel like that we have at the club. But it's just he don't instill me with no confidence. He's got T-Rex arms. I compare him to like Pickford. I just feel like, bro, he's just not it, man. It's just poor, man. Poor people, man.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of fans feel the same way. United started with Onana in goal, Mazraoui back three at right centre back. De Ligt played left centre back, even though didn't feel like it at times. Maguire was at the centre. We had Diego Dallo at sort of right wing back. Ugarte and Casemiro double pivot. So that was Casemiro's back-to-back starts, I think, in the Premier League for him. Ugarte was back in. We had Dorgu left wing back, which we'll get into for sure. Twin tens of Joshua Zirkzee and Bruno Fernandes. And Rasmus Højlund was apparently up front. The game started and United were blown away, in my opinion, by Everton's sort of high pressing, their ability to win the first balls, if not the first, then the seconds. It was a midfield battle which United got completely obliterated by. But Reemz, how did you see the game opening up in the first sort of 15 to 20 minutes? Did you see any promising hopes for United, or was it more of an Everton sort of dominating early on?
Nah, we couldn't really build up from the back. De Ligt at left centre back, not good on the ball. He's not good on the ball at any position, but at right centre back is probably the easiest position for him to play because he can just receive out and just play the direction he's facing. But left centre back, no good on the ball. Casemiro, like as that like first receiver in midfield, we know it's not good. We're too easy to press in the setup. Like literally, it was just like they had Beto pressing De Ligt, Doucouré pressing Maguire, then they had like Harrison pressing Mazraoui, and then as soon as we tried to put the ball up to Dallo or Dorgu, it would be Lindstrom that was on Dorgu immediately, or fucking Mikalenko on Dallo immediately. Like teams just don't respect us anymore. Like as soon as whoever receives the ball, there's a player on them immediately, like man-to-man press. Like teams know exactly how we're going to build up from the back. They know how to prepare for it, and it's easy. It's not like it's difficult. It's like probably 2 film sessions, and they're good for the week. You know what I mean? So
it's actually jarring to watch. Like it's actually annoying to watch. Like teams just come and just press us like from the start, like just bench pressing us all over the place. Literally, like it's jarring, fam. No one's composed on the ball.
We struggle to win duels. We struggle to win headers. We struggle to win second balls. We don't have guys that could like wiggle out of pressure like that.
No one's comfy on the ball. It's like it's just mad. It's mad. Like,
it was interesting to me looking at the Everton lineup as well. There aren't many players in that Everton team who I look at and think they're going to cause us an issue today.
And Jai wasn't even playing.
Exactly,
bro. If Ndai was playing, spooky.
Like you look at the midfield, James Garner, decent footballer, a guy, he's a good ball winner. But you got Doucouré was essentially playing as their like 10. You had Lindstrom, you had Harrison and Beto. Apart from Brentford, there's not many players in that team who I'd look at and think, wow, that's a high standard Premier League footballer. But you go up against a disorientated United team, and they were able to break us down in terms of what you were talking about, in terms of the pressing, in terms of winning the first and the seconds. And you mentioned the point, Reemz, which is really interesting to me, about De Ligt on the left-hand side. And that shows how much United miss Martinez in the first phase of build-up. Somebody that's competent.
I tried to warn them.
Look how they massacred my boy, man.
What did you warn them about, Reemz? Give us a quick recap.
I was like, bro, they're talking about all this. Oh, you can't win headers and Ray-Tay and this and all of that. But I was like, listen, for a team that already struggles to build out from the back, take our most technically sound and creative passer out of this team. It's gonna get spooky real fast. And
cooked, man.
Boy, things have gone from bad to worse. You know what I mean? So,
bro.
Well, the first Everton goal comes in.
All them centre backs that was in the back three last game are all over 6 foot, and we're still shipping goals from set pieces. So I don't know.
Facts.
I don't know.
And it's mad to me actually when you think about it, because the 2 centre backs, the Dudley twins, Maguire and De Ligt, to me, feel free to correct me, fellas, they're essentially the same footballer. I don't see.
I literally be saying that. Like,
Maguire's better than him on the ball.
Yeah. But I feel like De Ligt is just slightly better, just in terms of his all round game. but they're the Chuckle brothers for real, bro. Literally, man. Literally.
And we saw that in the 19th minute with the sort of goal mouth scramble and inability to clear lines, inability to look after the ball. If my memory tells me or serves me correctly, I think Bruno initially gave the ball away, and obviously there were other phases of the game after that which lead towards the ball ending up in the penalty area. But once the ball ends up in there, United can't clear their lines. They can't win first. They can't win seconds.
I think it was Dallo who like the balls landed to him, and he's tried to header it. It's hit his knee, and just from there, I knew, this is gonna be spooky.
Yeah,
Maguire.
It's all bad, like, bro. From the first goal, even from the first corner into the box, like if we had a decent like Ugarte, yeah, like he had a free header in the box to clear the ball. He just jumped for the ball and completely missed it. Like these guys can't win headers. They can't like any decent centre mid, like bro, Bruno G, Declan Rice, bro, any of them is just heading that ball out of the fucking penalty area and there's nothing to worry about. But we can't even win that first header, like
basics of the game, right?
I just don't get, and I don't know if those type of things are on the manager. I can't blame the manager for those type of things. Like it's like you lot as men should just be responsible. Like just clear your lines, first and second ball. I see a clip like a minute long. Maguire literally has like 3 attempts to clear the ball. He don't clear the ball once. I'm like, bro, what are we watching here? What are we doing here? It's madness, bro.
Yeah, and the goal mouth scramble obviously leads to the Core heading Everton ahead. My thing is, I don't see.
No, I think it was Beto who scored the first goal. You know.
Yeah, it was better.
Yeah, it was Beto who scored the first.
Oh yeah,
goal.
sorry, Beto scored the first goal. But before I get to the Core, I don't see the likes of the teams that United would even aspire to be. So like a Villa for the most part, who's doing really well right now. The Arsenals, the Liverpools, we don't see them concede those sort of like scramble goals. They've got someone like a Van Dijk, someone like a Konate, who is just going to do the basics well, firstly, and just clear lines. And Beto scored I think his 5th goal under David Moyes, which is really, really impressive. Yeah, and then the second yeah, for sure. And you know what was really interesting? I don't know if you clocked it, Reemz or TG, but once Beto scored, you could see his confidence was rising because he started dropping into the pockets, started receiving the ball in the sort of little area.
He knows who he's up against. He's up against the Lit Maguire, bro. I'm getting my game off, broski.
Yeah,
I'm getting my game off, man.
And that's what he did. And then the second goal was just as embarrassing. Reemz, any thoughts on the second goal? Obviously, Maguire has to do better there. Onana saved Jack Harrison's shot.
What do you lot feel about that save? Do you feel like it was a good save?
Not really,
bro. I just don't understand why this guy.
But like, I mean, at the end of the day, like he was in a bad position in the first place. Like the ball straight at him, it's like, bro, he slapped it straight back up in the air. You could touch it like to your left or something.
Something like.
I think the thing with Onana, we've seen that save and that parry into the dangerous area one too many times.
Too much, man.
If it was an odd occurrence, I'd be like, oh, you know what?
It's too much.
It's a mad recurrence still. I can't lie. It's a mad one still.
For sure. And Doucouré sort of able to head home. At that point in the game, gents, TG maybe, did you see any hope on the field from an individual or sort of patterns of play which made you think,
let me actually be brutally honest. I wasn't going to watch the game, yeah? Because I was just thinking, bro, there's actually no one in this team that excites me. There's nothing. But then, obviously, I'm in a group chat with my brethren, yeah? And I've defended Dallo in the past. So obviously, they were talking about Dallo and he made a mistake leading to the goal. So I'm like, let me tune in so these men can't gaslight me, or do you get what I'm saying? So I've tuned in, Beto scored, and then I feel like maybe like, I don't know how long after, they're on the break for the second goal. I see De Ligt do a mad press. They beat him with one pass. And then I don't know who got the ball into the box. Someone got the ball into the box. And then Maguire, yeah. So this boss can't turn around. The initial ball, he should have got to it. He didn't get to it. He didn't recover. They've shot. And from one Onana's parried the ball up into the air, I just knew Doucouré was going to dunk on Maguire. Yeah,
because Doucouré just had a run on him, innit? So, like,
bro,
from then you're cooked, bro.
I just knew he was going to dunk on him. And then once that second goal went in, I'm like, bro, do I really want to watch the rest of this match? I don't know, man.
Doucouré was in his box crashing bag, and I just knew that would.
Man, reverse slam dunked it off the backboard, Dunked on Maguire. And then I was just like, yeah, moving forward, I didn't really see how he was going to get back into the game because we didn't have no footprint on the game. Like it was just madness, bro. It was madness.
I think we wasn't really getting into dangerous areas. Like obviously, the best avenue for us to get back onto the game was what we did, bringing on Garnacho and taking off Hoyland. But it like you're at that point, you're like thinking, okay, we're looking on the bench. What do we have to work with here? You got a 17-year-old striker, like thinking, our flipping main striker is so bad. This is the position that we're in right now, and like we brought it on, and the kid ended up making a flipping impact. So that's how flipping bad it is right now.
It's actually peak that had to happen, you know, because Hoyland. If I say what I want to say about that guy, yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. Before we get into that, I guess there were two potential bright sparks for United. Potential and bright sparks might even be a stretch, but Dorgu's played 2 and 2. Well, in terms of his favoured position, that sort of left wing back. What have you made of him so far, Reemz? And what did you think of him specifically in this Everton game?
I thought he was good. I thought his crossing in the fine. I thought his end product could use some work. But the overall approach playing, what he's added to us in terms of just like finally having a left-footed wing back that can just receive the ball on his stronger foot, play them passes in field, carry the ball up the pitch. He's winning duels, he's winning headers, he's clamping up guys 1v1. You just see like what adding a guy that's got a good technical base and high level physicality to this team adds in it. So yeah, I think eventually like he could only do what he's doing at the moment. Like he's getting into dangerous areas. It'd be nice if like if he had a couple crosses early in the first half that like if he would have just got a bit more bend on them to curve them back in towards Hoyland, it could have ended up in a goal, but he kind of put them too flat into Pickford's hands. So that's an area he needs to work on. But he's making good runs. He's combining well, little give and goes with Bruno. He's physical, you know what I mean? Like carry the ball, receives it well, you know, uses his body well to protect the ball. So yeah, I've been impressed. I think when or if the system ever ends up materializing the way Amorim envisions, because bro, it is an if, bro. Because bro,
you're right. Still, you're right.
If it ever ends up materializing the way Amorim envisions, I see Dorgu being a big part of that.
For sure. And then TG, over to you. The other player that I guess caught my attention, and I think when I say that, I'm talking just being able to do some of the basics well. Dorgu's one of those, and the other one would be Joshua Zirkzee, who played his second game in sort of the twin 10 role, which Amorim has been sort of hinting, this is his best position. He's been bought as a 9, but we all knew his skill set further aligns him towards being sort of deeper in receiving the ball in sort of those pockets. What have you made of him in the number 10 role, and how did you feel he performed against Everton?
I feel like he's more comfy in that number 10 role, linking up the play. I wouldn't say he had a good game. I just feel like he was okay. I feel like he was very serviceable. There's one little run he went on the end. He went on in the second half and he passed it to Garnacho. Garnacho should have just played him in, and he just took a touch and just killed the whole move. So for Zirkzee, I got my reservations about him too. Like I feel like the supporting cast isn't good enough for us to actually kind of rely on Zirkzee. But I just feel like if you ask him to do everything but score, he's serviceable. And I feel like right now it's just we just take what we can take, bro.
Yeah.
My issue with Zirkzee is it's like his style of play, you have to be so technically,
you have to be mad,
consistent to be able to play the way he wants to play, and he's just not, bro. So it's difficult. Like he's so technically, like at one, like he could get the ball, like trap it, kill it dead, and spin on a dime, and then his pass will be scuffed and on the hit line, like behind the target, and it's like, bro, like on an action to action basis, this guy is so baffling, bro.
Yeah, he's not consistent enough with his technical the technical aspects of it. Yeah, I agree with you. Still.
If you want to play the style of play he wants to play, bro, you better be fucking.
You just better be your touches better be on point.
Yeah,
literally.
I literally on the Patreon episode we did, I said he's like a light version of Berber. Like he can do. He's very languid in style, more stylistic.
Berber was technically
astute.
All his actions, like first touch perfect, like wait on pass perfect. You know what I mean? Like
shots on, and he was a bagsman as well.
Bagsman, yeah. Get them goals. I don't know, man. Zirkzee, I don't know. He gives me like a shy vibe. Like there's been games he's imposed the fact that he's a big dude. You get what I'm saying? Pause. But like just the the whole round package that he just needs to understand what he's good at and actually just literally be consistent with what you're good at, bro. I know you're not the most athletic. You're not going to be always able to get back and forth because you're not the quickest. But, bro, just impose yourself. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And just be consistent with your touches, man. Sometimes I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be having a touch like that because you're one of the more technically better players in the team. So it's just like,
you're supposed to be. That's why you were signed. They're like,
yeah.
And I think Reemz made a great point. In this Premier League, and I think we're seeing it with the sort of fall off and the sort of rebuild of City, you can be technically supreme, but if your technical security has to be at such a high level, or you need the physicality, sorry, to go with it. So like Morgan Rogers, I wouldn't say he's the most technically supreme footballer, but he's got a good base level of tech. Whereas sometimes it's inconsistent, and sometimes you're gonna get a really mazy run or a great finish, right? But because of the physicality he has to go with that, some of those technical proficiencies that he has that he lacks in are able to either be masked or don't matter as much because he can make up for it in the other facets. Whereas Xerxes is not of the same profile, so his technical ability has to be so much higher. You look at someone like Bernardo Silva as well when he was at his peak. Technically so good, right? But he also matched it with a mad level of physicality.
Intensity, bro. His intensity was crazy
when he was at his best. And I think United really lack physicality, which is something Dishu's spoken about before. A lot of people on the pod have mentioned before, which leads us to halftime. And Reemz, we had a conversation in the GC about this man. So I'm going to leave this one to TG for now. Garnacho comes on. TG, thoughts on Garnacho? Because for me, go on.
No, go on.
No, I was gonna say such a frustrating footballer, and I think we get the best out of him when he's able to come and impact games from like a chaotic game state where there's a need for United to just go and grab a win or grab a goal. I think we don't see the best of him in games where he starts. But at this point, when you look at this current United team and the lack of players who are able to even just create anything, to do anything with the ball that's direct, that's positive, that's got aggression with it, there's nobody else in the team other than maybe Dorgu right now that can do what he does. But how do you feel about Garnacho as things stand and his impact on the second half?
This is how I am with Garnacho. It's like one week he's like, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's got some minerals. You get what I'm saying? Like, out of a lot of players that we do have, yeah, he's one player that, like, his arrogance, it helps him in the circumstances of where, like, he wants to take on his guy, he wants to create something, he wants to be the guy that like makes something happen, innit? And in the second half, credit to him, he was generating, as they say on football Twitter, he was generating a lot of football. So it's like yeah, like he kind of changed the game a little bit, I would say, and it kind of gave us a threat on that side.
It's like a marginal gains kind of thing. Like,
Garnacho
himself isn't like a great player, but just what he offers in terms of his skill set makes us a better team.
Literally,
which is why it's getting rid of Rashford. It's so annoying because Rashford is like,
brother.
It's like he offers what Garnacho does with more quality. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And you know the final third, Rashford's just way more clinical than Garnacho. So it's like if we had that, I don't know why we got rid of Rashford. We'll get onto that, but like like Garnacho, I can't lie, he generated a lot of football, and it's like, yeah, man, I think off the bench against tired legs is his bag. I feel like his arrogance is way higher than what he thinks he actually is, which is fair play to him, innit? You gotta have some type of arrogance to kind of be like the level he wants to. I feel like he feels like he can get to. But I just feel like from when we have to like rely on guys like Garnacho, bro, like what's going on, man?
Reemz, how did you feel about his impact on the game, and what did he bring alongside? I guess there was a shift when Obi Martin came on as well for excuse me, for the apparent United number 9 in Rasmus Højlund. How do you think those two substitutes changed the game for United? And Højlund is a very frustrating name to even talk about for me, but yeah, floor's yours, bro.
I think Garnacho, simple, offered us a bit more width, offered us some ball carrying, just someone that's going to run in behind, make the defenders think about something. His decision making in this feel for the game is still poor, but it's just
Very
like defenders just don't like defending against players like Garnacho in it. So at the end
Sean
of the
O'Brien
day,
hated him. Oh, Sean O'Brien hated that 1v1 matchup.
yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, but Chido, he made a difference just for the fact that like he come on, he was physical. He was rolling centre backs. He was winning headers. Like the ball's coming up to his feet. He was making a stick. Like all the stuff that like we just can't get from.
I can't remember who he pinned, but he pinned. I don't know if it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Brantwaite, bro. Like it was literally like
one of them. He pinned one of them.
One of those physical players.
I was like, say no more. Young boy's actually got something about him, like literally, bro. Because you see the first half, I don't remember action from Hoyland. I remember
there's one time he gets the ball, and he kind of does like a Ronaldo chop, gets away from pressure, then his next touch is just so skiff. Like he's literally just shown all of the ball to the defender. He's just pinched it off his feet, and I'm just like, bro, this just can't continue.
I think that's the action. That's the only action I remember of him in the first half. You know, the guy's terrible, man.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
It's like when he first landed. Yeah, I was like, okay, I could see the physical attributes. I could see small technical attributes that would justify for why we signed him. Not for the price, but why we signed him, innit? But then since then, he's just regressed so much, and I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know if I just don't get it. Like I just don't get how he's regressed so much. Like,
I think you can tell he's definitely a confidence player. So I will shoot him some blind that he's playing in the shit team where he's low in confidence, which you can clearly see.
But it's like, brother, like you're the 9 in this team, bro. This is Manchester United, bro. Like you're actually the 9. Like you get what I'm saying? Do something, bro. When he's always trying to wrestle defenders, I don't understand where this WrestleMania, all of this stuff came from. He's always trying to.
It's hard to defend him when the ball's coming into his feet and it's ballooning off of his feet, bro. That's not a system. That's not a system thing. That's not a service issue. That's you on a technical level being
doing the basics.
Get in there and work on your touch, bro. Literally, bro.
As I've always sort of from my time working in football, if your game isn't working how you want it to, get back to the basics. Your first touch needs to be good. Your 5-yard passes need to be crisp and smooth. Do the basics well and just build up your confidence base level so that you can start doing some of the more quote unquote extravagant things.
Well, that's just common sense. That's just common sense. How old is Hoyland? 22, 23?
22.
22? Yeah, 22.
Nah, man. 22 is too old for you to not be able to understand, okay, my game's not popping right now, yeah? What can I do individually? Like you said, guys, like, let me just literally make my touches stick, little 5-yard passes. Like, bro, you're too old for that, man.
For sure. The game changes. Bruno drops deeper, which he was kind of doing in the first half, but I guess he was able to have more of an influence from a deeper position in the second half. Amorim has spoken about Bruno and says he's one of the few players that can make the ball stick and look after the ball, which is an interesting sort of quote.
It's crazy because it's at the technical level of the team is so bad now. That's actually true.
Exactly.
Like, he's now that Ahmad's gone, out of the attacking players, he's the only one you could actually rely on to actually create some wiggle. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's really bad.
How did you guys find the Bruno 30-minute remontada performance as a sort of number 8, then number 10, and of course his free kick, which caught pick shall I say?
Bro, the one thing about Bruno, like no matter what, like he's always gonna go out on his sword, innit? So when you have a player like that, you always have a chance that he could pluck something out of his ass. You know what I mean? And that's what he was able to do for us. He's done it time and again. Like I don't think his performance was great. But just the fact that he's relentless and he keeps going and he's willing to take risks, you know.
One thing. Go on, sir.
Yeah, like that shit, that kind of shit can lead to goals in it, and that's what ended up happening. So yeah.
One thing I'll say about Bruno is I'm not the biggest fan of Bruno, but one thing I will say is he fucking tries, man. Yeah. That guy flipping tries, bro. Like
character.
He just tries. He just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. So that last 30 minutes, even though he gave the ball away a couple times and I was onto him, because I was having an argument with one of my brethren, like, did he have a good half? In review it of like the second half, I would say he had a good half. Like he literally kind of like pulled us back small still.
United don't win that game without him. And I think it's a damning indictment on the sort of current United game state in terms of the team and the team we're able to put out.
I got a question for you lot though. Do you lot feel like Bruno is more suited in the deeper role for us, or do you feel like in the 10, it would work. It would work better for him.
Right now, he's probably better in the deeper role, you know. But like long term going forward, I don't know. Maybe like this is that time in his career for that. You know what I mean? Like Mkhitaryan did it, Çalhanoğlu, like more attacking midfielders that's like drop down into deeper, like more holding midfielders. So maybe it's that he's at that stage in his career. Who knows?
And you could argue that sort of goal scoring form / has died out ever so slightly. I think one, because the team isn't as good at creating 1v1 opportunities where he's able to get those free kicks and those penalties, because you had Martial, you had Rashford, you had he who must not be named. You had those players who in 1v1 situations would cause defenders issues, and he would be able to reap the benefits through free kicks, penalties, set pieces, etc. And Bruno just doesn't arrive in those situations as much as he used to. So you could argue, especially in this current United team, where Casemiro, would you want him dropping deeper to get the ball? Not really. Casemiro is probably better on the ball in the final third now. Ugarte is of no use to you in that first phase of the pitch as well. Kobbie Mainoo's obviously out for some time. Toby Collier, I wouldn't say he's any use to you there either. Who else am I missing anyone from the United midfield? I've named everyone.
Eriksen. But Eriksen is he's just an NPC, man.
Eriksen actually helps us in possession these days. Like that's how bad it is, but he's still a cone. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. It's not you're not really solving anything.
And then the problem is you probably lose something in the final third because your options in those 10 roles are now Garnacho, Xerxes.
That's about it.
It's Dyer right now, bro. It's Dyer, bro. Can't lie, it's Dyer.
Bruno free kick gets us back into it 2-1, and it was a good free kick, to be fair to him. Caught Pickford off guard. You could argue Pickford maybe should do better, but he does really well. And then Ugarte drives some sort of left-footed swing of the left foot, but it is a good connection into the corner, which beats Pickford, and that's 2-2 for United. At that point, did you see the game changing, and did you see United grabbing a winner, lads?
Yeah, you know, I thought after the Ugarte goal, I think he scored. I can't remember. I think he scored in like the 80th minute.
Yeah,
I was like, we actually got time to actually go on and win this game. But then it's like the same way I thought we could go on to win this game is the same way I thought, hey, we could concede a goal. We can concede a goal and lose this game.
It was a 6-pointer relegation, 16th versus 15th, 17th versus 18th clash. Some of those goal mass scrambles that were had, some of the ball retention in those final 30 minutes, some of the open spaces that were available for both teams, because Everton also had their opportunities. I think Beto had a header where I think if he looks back at it, he'd wish he had done better with it. That type of game just reminds me of like a 16th versus 17th. Both teams are scrambling to get a point on board, if not 3. And then in the 95th minute, we have a very controversial situation with a former United employee in Ashley Young. The ball ends up in the box, and Ashley Young is...
How did it end up in the box, broski? Speak on it, broski. Speak on it. How did it end up in the box?
It's Mr. Bruno Fernandes.
Bro, the guy is cannoning the ball in the... Like, bro, composure. Where is your composure? You're the captain. And it's like, bro, the guy just does some mad stuff sometimes, bro. It's just like, obviously... We just have to sometimes let it slide, innit?
I think at this point, United fans kind of have to make do with what they've got with Bruno.
When he cannoned it back into the box, yeah, I was like, bro, does this guy not know the score and the time, fam? Bro, why are you putting us under this mad amount of pressure so late? And then, bro, what happened? Obviously, chain of events, and then De Ligt and Maguire, yeah. When I tell you those man scared me, bro. Bro, them men are actually scary, bro. Like the reactions, they don't instill me with no confidence, and they're too like physical presences. I just don't get it. I proper don't get it.
They're supposed to be.
They also are like very slow to just react to things, which is like very damning on the defense as a whole. Ashley Young gets pulled by De Ligt in tandem with Maguire's challenge as well. My first thought was penalty, shall I say. I think a lot of people did feel the same way. The video footage or the replay / VAR does show Ashley Young doing what we've known him to do over the years. He's earned United many a free kick and penalty through sort of the throwing up of the 2 legs. Do you think if he doesn't exaggerate the way he did, but just goes down quotation mark goes down like a normal footballer might do, do you think he gets the penalty? And do you think it was a penalty either way?
I thought at first it was a penalty. When I looked at a few replays again, it was a bit soft, and I think Ashley Young's reputation kind of went against him as well. Like, he's a bit theatrical, you know what I mean? So when they look at that, they're like, bro, look how this guy's gone down in relation to actual contact. It's probably not a penalty, in it.
Yeah, same. I agree. I just feel like because it's us, we those decisions don't normally go for us. So I just thought, yeah, man, it was a penalty.
Take it, run with it.
When it went to review, I can't. Was it Andy Madlin or when he went to the screen, I was like, he's gonna reverse it still. So, but at first initial thoughts, I definitely thought, yeah, this is a penalty, man.
Yeah, United escape with a point. That would have been, I think, United's 9th defeat in 13 in the league under Amorim. Or might have been all. Let me double check that. Yeah, it would have been United's 9th defeat in 13, which is for Amorim, which would have been scary. United move on next, but before we do so, I just want to get your thoughts generally. Reemz, maybe you can start us off with your thoughts on Ruben Amorim. We know he's dealing with one of the worst United squads completely that we've probably seen in our lifetime. No, I'm going to say it is the worst United team I've seen, at least. Worse than the Van Gaal team in 14-15. At least we had Martial, we had Daily Blind, we had some really technical footballers. We had Marcus Rashford coming through. We had Juan Mata, we had Ander Herrera. However you feel about Ander as well. But
Eric, Valencia, like, bro.
Karras is my boy, man. So thank you for reminding me.
Players that we was like, we need to improve on. Like, they'd walk straight into the team right now.
Facts, bear man.
Marcos Rojo, all of them, man, bro. Marcos Rojo will be one of the first names on the team sheet right now.
Factuals,
man. Like Marcus, you know. Is there anything you've seen from Amorim that you think he could have improved upon, aside from the quality of the players that he's working with?
Obviously the quality isn't. Here's the thing, because I know that he's safe at least until the summer. Like, I'm kind of just sitting on the fence until we get into a position where, like, I feel like he's really in trouble. Because I didn't really feel like he was really in trouble, but like, if he keeps losing games, then I might have to change my mind, because I know, like, you have a certain level of job security because you came into a bad situation. But let's not take the piss. Like, you gotta win games, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't Swansea, you know what I mean? Like, this is United, bro. So I know he's in a bad situation right now. I think my issue is with me, when I start kind of turning on managers, is when they start making decisions that don't make no sense. So in my mind, like, for example, an example of that was the Leicester game when he had Dorgu right wing back and Dallo left wing back. I'm like, this doesn't make no fucking sense. Like,
defense though.
Like, things are bad and you're making the job harder. That's weird. Like, I don't like that. And now the whole thing with, like, the fullbacks and wing backs, the fullbacks and wingers at wing back, we've seen evidence. We've seen enough evidence of what works and what doesn't. When we look dangerous and when we don't, he still won't do anything to remedy that. Obviously, you've lost Ahmad now, so we're cooked. So it is what it is. But it's a short, like, little decisions that is just starting to be weird. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, as I said, like, I know they ain't gonna fire him. If they fire him, they're in big trouble. So they're at least gonna give him the summer. They're gonna give him a preseason and then give him at least a squad that's kind of built in his image, and then we'll see.
United are currently 15th, joint on points with West Ham, who are 30 points as well. Everton are a point above United with 31. Palace are 3 points above United with 33. And Spurs are 12th with 33 as well. United won't get relegated. That's not going to happen. But the worry is the lower United finish, the less money they're likely to get. I think between each league position, you get 3 million. And the difference between our finish last season and this season, which is 8th and right now looks like it's 15th, it might improve, it might not, is apparently roughly £20 million, which is a lot.
We need all the bread, bro. You look, been seeing the cuts. They're serving up fruits. The man can't even eat lunch and that. The man have to eat fruits and that. It's just peak, man. I can't lie.
We'll move on. TG, you've never had the opportunity to speak on Marcus Rashford. So the floor is yours. Thoughts on the sort of Rashford fallout towards the back end of his time at United? A lot of people feel as though Rashford was forced out by the powers that be above rather than Amorim, and he's just doing their bidding. We know he's had some misdemeanors, but we also know what the United fan base is like. What did you feel about him leaving, and how have you seen his performances for Villa since?
First and all, yeah, I'm a kind of person who I believe in you play your best players. So it's like on their day, you know what they can give you. So it's like I never really fell into the hype of, there was times he was taking a piss. I can't lie. Rashford was taking a piss on the pitch, but it's like going forward, and we like the evidence is there. He gave us so much. Do you get what I'm saying? And he could give us so much. I just feel like towards the back end of him leaving, I feel like you said, man, I think it was the powers above him. I just didn't like the way Amorim was going about it. Things about like he'd play the coach, the 63-year-old before him, like all of these things.
That bugged me. I can't lie. I didn't like
bro,
that.
When he said that, I said no. Amorim definitely deserves to hold a slap for silly remarks like that. Still, like I just feel like on his day, we know what Rash is about, bro. Like against Chelsea, I watched the game, and every time he was on the ball, I just felt like he was a threat. Like he could create something. Something could come from a passage of play of his, and he was just very good against Chelsea. And it's like, bro, that's what we need right now at United, bro. We just need someone who has sense, can actually play, and is actually dangerous. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's like when Rashi's on the ball, bro, he cooked Gusto, you know. Like he was cooking Gusto, like he was frying BBQ chicken, bro. Bro, he was cooking Gusto, and I was just like, bro, like, you know, some players, it's like their reputation, like, perceives them, or whatever the word is, bro. Like, they get on the ball, and it's like defenders they think twice. Do you get what I'm saying? We don't really have any players that like when they're on the ball, defenders are thinking twice. Maybe Bar Ahmad, like so. Him not being at United and me having to watch him for Aston Villa, bro, it actually hurts, man. I can't lie. Rashford's actually my guy. He was out of form for a long time, and I do understand like the gripes that people had and all of these things. But it's like, bro, you don't make your best attacking players work hard defensively. Like it just doesn't make sense. You get what I mean? Like you want them doing what they're good at, and on their day, you know that he is a game changer. That's facts. No one can argue that. Marcus Rashford is a game changer, bro. And we saw it against Chelsea, bro. Came off the bench, kind of changed up the game. Him and Asensio, 2-man step. You know, I guess.
Assist. He's laying them up for Villa right now. The fans really seem to be taking to him as well, from what I've seen on sort of online in the stadium. Reemz, any thoughts on Rashi? How do you hope his season goes? What have you made of him at Villa so far?
I think you're on mute, broski.
Might not be about for a sec. We can move on.
Oh, sorry. I was on mute.
All good.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just feel like I was kind of campaigning for a long time for him to get out of this environment. I feel like this environment just kind of became toxic for him, like this amongst fans.
Factuals.
I feel like even like some of his poor form could have just been like, obviously he was having some like lifestyle issues. It's just like, bro, sometimes when you go to a new environment, a new team, you're with a new coach, you need to ingratiate yourself to a new fan base. It could kind of just like get you back in focus. And I kind of feel like that's what Rashford needed. Maybe he just need to get out of Manchester, even though Birmingham's only an hour from Manchester, but still, like, he just needed he just needed a new environment just to refocus and just to listen, like Aston Villa are better than United right now, but let's have it right. Manchester United, Aston Villa is a drop down in terms of like stature of club you're at. Even though Aston Villa is in a better zone right now, so Rashford is like, he's in his prime now. He needs to realize like, where does he want to keep going? Does he want to keep going on this downward trajectory from like one of the top teams in the world to just like Europa League level standard clubs or whatever the case may be? Because it could easily go in that direction. So
I'm kind of shameless because I was arguing that it's a step up because Villa are above us, but
but they're like 10th in the table, bro. It's not like it's not like he's at City or Liverpool. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But like if you went to Barcelona, then you'd be like, okay, cool. But so I just want him to do well. I just hope he just focuses, settles down, does well. Like I feel like when watching him in his Villa team, it kind of looks like when he plays for England. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have all the responsibility that he has at United. He could just kind of just like be one of the he could just be free, just like a member of like a team that's flowing. You know what I mean? But I wish him all the best. I'm just annoyed that like we let one of our most dangerous attacking players go and we have no one to replace him with.
Brother,
it doesn't make no sense. Like it doesn't make no sense, but it's what it is, isn't it?
But wouldn't you say that's the best version of Rash we've seen is when he has co-stars alongside him, which makes sense for any footballer. But I think particularly we saw that with his relationship with Martial. We saw that with He Who Must Not Be Named. Like we saw he was able to share the responsibility of United's attacking patterns, of how he played, the onus to take players on 1v1. They were free-flowing, man. Pogba, were you probably put into that situation as well, or that category, like that foursome in terms of attacking output was really, really impressive. I hope Rash does well.
Same,
I hope
bro.
he gets a move this summer, which is of benefit to him.
Do you lot think it's done at United, like completely? You lot think it's done?
100%.
Too much. His wages are too big.
100%.
They're trying to trim every single piece of fat in the club anywhere they can. They're trimming money from the foundation, from the canteen. We heard that 200 staff might lose their job in the next month or so, or will be losing their job. United are in a bad way, man. There's a lot of debt. There's a lot of money to be paid. So
I'm so broke, fam. Why are we so broke, lad? I don't even get it, like.
Poor investment after poor investment.
Bad recruitment after bad recruitment. It's just, bro. It's dire, man. I can't lie, fam. It's dire.
For sure. Lads, we'll move on. Move on to the awards this week, weekly awards. So we'll start with you, TG. Positive or negative manager of the week, or who is your manager of the week? Positive or negative? It can be any club across the footballing world.
I'm gonna keep it in the Prem.
Yeah, all good.
Keep it in the Prem, and I'm actually gonna give it to negative. Yeah, I'm gonna dump on Arteta, bro.
Let's listen. Let's go. This fuels me. Let's go.
Because broski, man put Marino up top starting against West Ham because he scored 2 goals against bottom of the table Leicester. Like, you know when man do things and it's like, oh, this looks good. But in reality...
used to do that. Ten Hag used to do that loads.
Bro, in reality, you're not doing anything, brother. Like, it stinks, bro. It actually stinks. And it's like, I got a lot of Arsenal brethren who support Arsenal, yeah? So it's like, this fuels me, broski. And you know when they insult me, it's a booster. Because when you insult me, you know what I'm saying is pinning you. Like, I just feel like Arteta's got it all wrong. I don't know if it's, like, I don't even want to give him, like, excuses about, like, the board and all of these things, bro. You had bread, you went and bought a left back who can play centre back, and you went and bought a centre mid who doesn't really give you anything different to what you kind of already had. So I just feel like Arteta, and I used him in my FPL because I thought they were going to get a dub. So even that as well. So that's racism. I like that. Give me some more of that.
Reemz, who's your gaffer of the week, positive or negative?
Fucking hell, I don't know, bro.
It wasn't the most exciting week for Premier League football, to be fair.
Bro, I don't know.
We had, what fixtures do we have in the
Premier League? I'll give it to Moisey. He's turning it around. He's turning it around at Everton, but their team to be reckoned with again now. Nasty to go to Goodison right now with how they're feeling.
You're scared to go to Goodison right now.
Goodison ain't easy. Never thought you would say at the start of the season, right?
Goodison ain't sweet right now still.
All right, I'm gonna go with Enzo Maresca. Good coach. I think the fundamental problem is Chelsea have got a great pool of talent. But I think the thing with Maresca, for me anyway, is what you tend to see, and I noticed that at Leicester, his teams tend to have mid-season slumps, but they tend to be like quite huge ones. It's the second time I've seen it in his career back to back. Obviously, with Leicester last year, Chelsea this year. I do think he's a good gaffer, and I think he's worth investing in long term. But this slump is peak, man, because Chelsea were in and around.
Bro, what's that? They've won what? 2 games in 10 fixtures?
Yeah, they've dropped down to 7th now. So they're on 43 points. Villa are a point behind in 8th. Brighton are 3 points behind in 9th. Newcastle have leapfrogged them. Bournemouth have been above them for quite a piece now, I'm going to think. Bournemouth are on 43 as well with a better goal difference. Forest, obviously, 47 points, they're 3rd. I think, yeah, Chelsea, I think there's a lot of onus on Cole Palmer still to be the guy. And I think this is his 2nd full season as a pro. So I get the online thing where people are like trying to now dig at Cole Palmer. It's what we do with the players that you think are great. Phil Foden had a great year last year. So if he's not playing well this year, we're going to get onto him. I think Saka had a period, maybe in his like 2nd, 3rd season, where he had like a back end of the season slump. People were ready to jump on him. Do you know what I mean? The best players...
The first season where Arsenal were going for the title, yeah.
The best players are going to get that treatment, but he does have a lot of onus on him. Chelsea now don't have a Nicholas Jackson, who kind of dovetails off Palmer is able to make those sort of runs, presses really well as well, even if you question his goal scoring. I think there's too much reliance on Palmer right now, and I think the squad building, as much as talent as they have, the squad building isn't good enough yet, and Maresca needs to address this slump, man.
The squad that they had for this season was really imbalanced, but like a lot of the players that can help the team is literally already employed by the club.
Facts.
Like, that's the main thing Chelsea need to realize. Like a lot of the players that can help them is already there in it. Like they don't need to go out and sign 100 more teenagers. Like they got players that can help. So it's just about making key like transformational signings in the right areas, like goalkeeper, like centre forward, left winger, like centre backs, centre mids. Like they have so many options. Just like either out on loan or just not getting enough minutes. You know what I mean? So it's not like
Carney had a good game the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, Carney's a good player. Like
Carney's a baller. Why didn't we? Someone like Carney, we should have been in for someone like Carney.
But the issue with Carney is like he's on big wages relative to like the amount of game football he's played. Like you look at him and like there's a lot of football missed in it. So a lot of teams just aren't willing
to take the risk.
To take that kind of risk. They kind of just need to like obviously he's out of Dortmund now. If he has a strong end to the season in the summer, I imagine like
should Nick a move.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Moment that had you rattled this week. Reemz, you can I'll let you rest this one. Reemz, TG, kick us off. What moment had you most rattled?
Can't lie. When that ball got cut back for Everton's second goal, yeah, I just knew, bro. Like, I think it was Harrison, bro. I was just like, bro, like Maguire taking 365 days to turn, and they're not reacting to the ball going up into the air, bro. I was just rattled because I've seen like all that, like a lot of talk online about him getting his contract renewed and all of these things, and I'm like, bro, if we want to actually make United great again, yeah, we actually got to move on from these type of men. So I was just like, I was proper rattled when I saw that, man. I was just like, fam, I was rattled still. I can't lie, man.
I'll go. I was actually really rattled when I heard Arsenal were losing, not because I obviously understand the current state they're in, but I just haven't really been impressed with Graham Potter's West Ham yet. But I think importantly, they've got Jared Bowen back, who's a key player for them. And yeah, they've given the title to every time Liverpool tend to like drop points or you're not really thinking Liverpool are quite there. Arsenal give them the opportunity to take advantage on the plate, and that's what Liverpool did yesterday. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna go with Arsenal's 1-0 loss to Graham Potter's West Ham. Reemz, what moment had you rattled, bro?
Oh my days, the fucking penalty.
Ashley Young.
The Ashley Young penalty.
Oh,
my head was on the moon. At the same time, I was just like, bro, this is the story of the season, isn't it? So when we kind of go a little reprieve, I was like, thank God for that. But yeah, it was just boy. He was like again, but yeah.
Cool. We'll go to. I'll start with this one. Agenda of this week. Rasmus Højlund remains top of my list. He's just not good enough, man. I don't even need to say anymore. TG, over to you.
I'm trying to cook up something nasty for my debut, you know.
Yeah.
Agenda of the week. You know what it is? I don't even think it's an agenda, but I'm just finally happy to see the back of KDB, bro. Pause. Like, I'm just happy that
evil you've done,
bro. The evil he's done is enough, bro. Like, I'm just so happy to see him down in the dumps. I'm so happy. I'm just pissed that, bro. Like, City down in the dumps, Arsenal not winning the title, but we're 15th, and Liverpool are about to win it.
Yeah, they're about to catch up. I think it's 21-21 for them. So,
but KDBK though, always KDBK.
He's a madman. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but I could picture moments. There was like a 10-minute clip apparently on Twitter of his like big 6-game moments, and I don't even need to watch the clip. I can just imagine.
The guy's a demon. You know, like RIP. But you know when King Von passed and like bare people used to come out and say, bro, like the elation that they felt, bro.
He was out there torturing them boys, man.
bro, he was a demon, bro. Like
some people gotta go in order for things to get better.
Bro, some people have to go, bro. He had to go, bro. So it's just, I'm just happy he's gone, bro.
Reemz, over to you, pal.
Boy, Martin, oh dear God.
Oh dear God.
We had to listen to them wax lyrical about this blonde flipping Abercrombie and Fitch model. We are not trying to hear that no more. We're not trying to hear. We're not trying to hear about the Norwegian Wes Hoolahan. You know, let me respect Wes Hoolahan. Let me respect Wes Hoolahan.
Man said, "Where's Hoolahan?" You know,
we're not like, bro, he's not. I'm not having him above Ryan Christie. I'm not having him above Jorginho Ruta. I'm not having him above Alex Iwobi. None of them, man, bro.
Fucking hell, fam.
That's a really good attempt.
We're done with Odegaard.
Hey, Reem, let me keep you here for a sec. Underrated player of the week.
Underrated player of the week. I like this question. Who's my underrated player of the week? I don't know. Do you know? Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work out because I might just be flaky, but I want to give it to Lewis Hall.
Oh my god, you're in my head, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was like, yeah, Lewis Hall,
serious baller, bro.
Baller,
serious
still.
baller.
Baller still.
Good player, man. He's found his home at Newcastle. Chelsea
flipped the game on his head for Newcastle overnight.
Yeah,
the quality of his passing, crossing, his distribution in general is class. Like
he's a dog too, bro.
Much better physically. Like, you know what I mean? He's a good player, man. Top player.
You'd argue he's better than Cucurella.
Of course, he's better than Cucurella.
And Chelsea are still sort of campaigning for the sort of Cucurella left back / left centre back / inverted.
They got Ishe Samuel Smith anyway, bro. So they're in all right shape.
I see. I'm gonna go with Jared Bowen. Now, do I think he's a player that should be in the England squad every week? Maybe like every international call up. Sorry, as a base standard Premier League footballer, you know what you're gonna get, and he's guaranteeing you 10 to 15 a season. Does his job for West Ham, can play sort of out wide, can play sort of as a 9 or a sort of false 9 if you need him to. Produces for West Ham. I just think he's a really impressive baseline Premier League player, and you could see him in the Premier League like in the sort of 2000s era and still doing the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, just guarantees you goals, guarantees you like a 6 to 8 out of 10 every week, base level. So yeah, Jared Bowen is my pick of the week. What about yourself, TG?
I was gonna go Lewis Hall, yeah, but I'll switch it to Mateta. See that assist? See that assist? The jinx.
The jinx.
Bro, that's a man. That's a man playing full confidence, just exuberating confidence, just literally he's feeling himself, bro. He's just feeling himself, and it's good to see still, car. The stat, I can't remember what the stat was, but I heard a mad stat how he didn't score a lot of goals in like his first 72 games or something like that. But like now he's got like, I think he's got like 29 and like 40 something. And it's like, bro, it's just good to see the resurgence from him, man. It's good to see still.
Cool. We'll move on to listeners' questions. I believe I did ask everyone there under it. Yeah, we got everyone's. All right, listeners' questions. Levi Ackerman. He asked, we'll go to you, TG, for this one. What's the opposite of releasing swans? How do you retrieve them back for Rash? That's not really a question, but you've kind of already answered that one.
Boy, man.
Okay, we'll go through for Shine 9. We'll stick with you, TG. Have you seen any glimpses of Amorim style? Which is priority for you as well? Hiring Ashworth's replacement or recruiting for Amorim? I'm afraid we might repeat the same cycle if it's the latter.
Sometimes you got to go 5 steps back to take 10 steps forward, man. I hope that's the case with Amorim. Unfortunately, I can't say I've seen anything of like significance to say like, yeah, I've seen his play style. And I'm a bit worried about a manager who don't want to, I don't want to say like adapt here, because bro, we can't even be giving these players any leeway no more, bro. But like, I am worried about maybe how one-dimensional he can be. So it's just like, bro, the spotlight's on him. But just for now, I'm going to put the mash on the table. The mash is on the table, but the mash is local.
Quality. This is a funny one from ZS_London. I think he's a regular, to be fair. Shout out to him. 3 questions. they're not really questions, so we'll go through them though. Who's on more of a power trip? Seb with Rash doing well, or Nico Harrison? LOL. If Bruno's going to be an integral part of our attack, based on Amorim's comments, what are the best archetypes to put around him? Reemz, maybe that's one for you. I'll just repeat it for you. If Bruno's going to be an integral part of our attack, based on Amorim's comments, what are the best archetypes to put around Bruno? So let's say you put him in the centre midfield role, which you kind of pinpointed earlier. What does he need around him to get the best out of Bruno?
He needs a midfield partner with legs and who's comfortable receiving the ball in the first phase and escaping pressure. They don't need to be like the sickest passer as long as they can pass the ball to Bruno. In front of him, he needs runners, because you know Bruno's gonna try hit you in transition as soon as possible. Like, he's not gonna really try carry it. He's not really gonna try get no dribbles off. If he's getting pressed, he'll try give you a little shake and bake at the most, and he's gonna try hit you in transition. You know what I mean? So you need a runner. You need like a Vinicius type of guy that's just gonna be relentlessly attacking the back line, or Osimhen, someone like that. But you also need another player in the 10 that's just nice and neat between the lines, that could just get the ball, that could offer you some technical security, like Ahmad. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I'd answer that question.
Bruno's a TT. Fuck it, he's down there somewhere type baller, man.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean, bro? Bro, look how many fuck it Rashford's down there somewhere assists he's got.
Therefore,
the last one was a bit of another joke. Can we do a buy one get one free from Maguire and Delete? That was from ZS. Assad XGH said, one, I was raging with the performance, but we watched the game and saw a lot of positives. Thinking bricks are being laid, but player execution is poor. I'm not so sure. Maybe the second half. Rash needed to get out of 0161. I'm sure the panel are aware of the issues. LOL. What will it take for him to play for United again? I'll answer that. He's not playing again, my good brother. Let that one rest. We had a good one here. Let's feed into nostalgia as medicine to the United depression. TG, will start with you. What's the best performance from a United player in the past decade? Take occasion into account. He says, for me, Rashford versus Barcelona, Europa League.
Last decade, you know. That's a good question. So, that's a good question. I think it might have to be Rash against Liverpool, you know.
When he cooked Trent.
Bro, when he cooked Trent, like barbecue chicken them, like
chopped him inside and then
bro, that performance, yeah. I think it might be that one still. Rashford for me still.
Reemz, any thoughts, pal?
What was the question?
Let's feed into nostalgia. What's the best performance from a United player in the past decade? Take occasion into account. For me, Rashford versus Barcelona.
Past decade, so that's 2015 to now.
I'm trying to think of a Martial one that had me hooked, because I'm sure there were a few. That's my guy, man.
Oh my days, but that's a hard question, you know.
Yeah, because you have to dig into the archives. Only Elijah's really good at pinpointing games, dates when it happened, and how. He is bang on that. I'm just gonna say, what was Martial's best season for us?
1920 lockdown season.
I'm just gonna give you that season, bro. That gave me life. That's my guy. So yeah,
Martial's had a couple of quality performances against Man City. Like seriously. Like he had one in the lockdown. I think Luke Shaw scored a goal in that game, and so did he. That one was class where he dominated Rodri in that game. He's had a few quality performances. Rashford had a sick performance against Tottenham. I think Jose was their coach. Scored 2 goals in that game.
Oh yeah, I remember that game as well.
Was that one when Pogba found him with the diag?
Yeah.
And he sort of brought it down. Yeah.
What was that game? Bruno had a cold game the other day. Was it against
Liverpool?
Against Arsenal?
The Liverpool game, the 2-2.
Yeah.
I can't lie. That was a blastic from Bruno still. I can't lie. And I'm not the biggest Bruno fan, but that game I had to stand up and applaud. I was like, yo, move me that game. So
fine, fair enough. One from ruler of Gap. People say Bruno should leave for a bigger club. Are we just going to forget he was open to leaving Sporting and no big club came in for him? Not really a question per se. People asking for a change.
That's just Bruno hate. It's Bruno hate.
I just want to get some Bruno hate.
Yeah, he just wanted to drop off some Bruno hate. I'm with him. I'm with him.
People asking for a change of formation. When we used to allow 20 shots per game, when we used to play 4-2-3-1, Lex Luthor. Oh, that's the Ten Hag. Okay, Ken Patchy says, how do we feel about the manager saying on record he doesn't have a clue on how to do his job? Yeah, any thoughts on that?
Amorim, should he needs to get better at just not saying what's on his mind.
It's too honest.
Yeah, man, it's lie, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's what every other good manager before has done.
Yeah, bro. He needs to learn how to lie still, you know? Not even lie, but he just his answers just need to be a bit more diplomatic in terms of
I don't know if it's just a language thing, like I don't know. But
Nah,
like, he has a pretty good grasp of the English language, but maybe he doesn't understand.
Sometimes you can be too good a speaker.
Yeah.
He just needs to be a bit more diplomatic, man. He just needs to just say a lot without saying anything, really.
Mida don't care. What will it take for Holland to be called out? He's actually a net negative for the team.
They won't. They just won't.
If he was black, he might get called out. To be fair,
they won't. And we know when I say they, we know who I'm talking about. They won't call him out, bro. They just won't call him out. It's just like we have seen enough of Hoyland this season to just like know that, hey, bro, it's not gonna work here. Or he needs to go on loan somewhere. Like he just needs to reinvent his whole game. And like we said earlier, it's just the simple things that, bro, like it's the basics, bro. Like basic football, just basic number 9 play. Like they teach you this stuff early, like, and you're 22 now, bro. If you ain't got it by now, I don't know, man. It's looking kind of spooky still.
This is a good question for both of you. Maybe name 3 players each. It's from I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because I'm going to fuck it up. If United were to get relegated, which players would stick around and be able to fug it out in the Championship? Hypotheticals. Ahmad, because we've seen him do it.
I was just about to say, I'll say Ahmad, Maino, my young killer there.
It's just all the young bucks, really, bro.
Yeah.
The old heads will probably cut.
You know what's so funny? I think Garnacho would leave. You know.
Yeah, I think he'd leave.
Do you think his game could? I don't think it wouldn't. But do you think his game could translate in the champ?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I think Dorgu would.
Dan James is doing well in the Championship, so.
Hey, that's that. He's found his level. To be fair to him.
Yeah, the young boys, man. Dorgu, Maino, Ahmad. Yeah, I think those 3 they would like, if God forbid, but if we ever was to touch relegation, I think
we ain't getting relegated. Like those are those jokes. Yeah, those are those jokes. There's 2.
Last question. This is from Francis. Reemz, maybe you can take this one. If Amorim had kept pragmatic and prioritized survival football over flair, like Arteta did in his first season to keep up with the top 6-8, I think Arteta won the FA Cup that year as well. Beat City, might have been. Would United fans be more forgiving of him this season?
Maybe I don't know, but just like, bro, like I don't know, like obviously we're not playing well and we're losing in it. So if we wasn't playing well and winning, I'm sure fans would be more willing to give him a bly. I don't know if that answers the question, but yeah.
No, yeah, all good, bruv. You've answered good and well. All right, chaps. So that's a bit of a wrap today. Reemz, thank you for your time. TG, great debut. I'm sure you will be back. I'm sure Mariah will listen through and be very impressed with you. Thank you for your time, fellas. We'll be having definitely some more Patreon episodes coming out as well in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you check those out. Across the week, you have the sort of club podcast coming out as well with the episodes. So make sure you tune into those if you choose to do so. And we'll be back probably. I'm gonna think we're gonna have a Patreon either Thursday or Saturday. For sure, because we had a Patreon at the weekend. We did a post-match reaction, so make sure to check that out as well. It was me, Mariah, and Disu. But yeah, that's the podcast over and out. Lads, thank you for your time.
All right, lads. Take it easy, yeah?
Nice one, lads.
Yo, when I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.